boys and girls, it's Miss Galino. Today I want to focus on a specific strategy on dealing with multiple problems, solutions, and what would come after that within a writing piece. So, our objective today is readers demonstrate that there might be more than one problem in a novel or book, and they can envision, meaning they can imagine possible outcomes to the problems their characters face. Now, let's make this into a real life connection over here. Let's think about this in real life. In the world we live in, we are always facing problems or dilemmas, and sometimes we need to stop and think about a solution to that problem. But to do that, we sometimes have to look at what will happen afterwards. So, how do we do this? As people, we always want to know what our options are, and we always hope for the best possible outcome. Just like in fiction books, and different type of genres, we are rooting for the character to have the best possible outcome in the story. So notice the word outcome we use quite often. So that is going to give you a little bit of an idea of what you should be focusing on is not only the multiple problems, but also the outcome. Listen to me as I practice this using the chapter Truth Hurts, from One for the Murphys. So the first step is going to be for us to go back to Monday's notes. Those are the problems. So I want you to take a look. What I did here, I kind of did my own for One for the Murphys. And take a look at this. So Carly, list the problems or multiple problems from different characters. So here I just focused on the initial issue within the chapter, which is, or problem, is that she's trying to help Daniel practice basketball, but he's refusing any help from her. And how do they respond? Well, Carly doesn't really give up, and she continues to try to give him advice and showing him how to dribble better. But then how does Daniel respond? Well, Daniel continues to refuse her help until kind of the middle of the chapter. And then I did a few more as a couple examples, which I'm sure you did as well. And then the next thing is think about possible solutions to these problems. Now, here is going to be your chance where you're going to have to fill this out today. And if I was to fill this out here, I would obviously put the character name, which is Carly, and then the title, and that would be just the name of the chapter. Then here, the problem, describe in detail what the issue is. Well, if I was to do that, I would be talking about how Carly decides to go outside because she sees Daniel struggling with trying to practice his basketball skills. And her intentions are pure and she does want to help. So there are three solutions. And I need to kind of come up with, if I were to think about, well, how is she going to deal with Daniel with the situation about him not being the greatest basketball player? Well, the first solution could be is that I could have Carly go out there and Daniel completely, immediately refuse to have any assistance or help with from Carly, and Carly would just go back inside. And then the outcome here, down here, would be that, well, Daniel's still going to be frustrated. Carly's going to maybe feel defeated. Another possible solution here could have been maybe she asked maybe Mrs. Murphy possibly to speak to Daniel about having Carly help Daniel practice, since Carly is a pretty good basketball player. And then the outcome down here, I would type in that hopefully Daniel would be receptive to getting help from Carly since it came from his mom. And then here I was thinking about even the third solution might be that maybe I would have Carly speak to Mr. Murphy about how Daniel truly feels about his love for basketball and his not so love for baseball. And maybe the outcome down here, I would type in as, well, we're hoping for the best. Maybe Mr. Murphy would go outside with Daniel and finally be okay that that is really what he wants to focus on is basketball and not baseball, and Mr. Murphy would be okay. So if I were you, and what you're going to do today is think through this the way I thought through this, but you're actually going to be typing all this. If you don't want to type it, of course, you know that you can do this in your notebook. So those are the steps. And here are, again, the directions that we just want you to think back to those notes on Monday. Bring out that chart, bring up that chart, or if it's in your notebook, and now help you help you with this chart where there's still the problem, but now come up with 3 different solutions and 3 different outcomes to that one problem. And then here it looks like we want you to fill in the chart in Schoology, or again, what I said before, you could do it in your reader's notebook. But then you'll have to take a picture or copy and paste the chart into the Schoology discussion board. So good luck. Make connections. Put yourself in the character's shoes, figuratively, and good luck.